Okay, so before we start in Silhouette Studio, I'm going to bring up CadworxLIVE. This is where I create the majority of my artwork. It's a free online software. You don't have to download anything to your computer, so all I have to do is type it into my browser, sign in, and bring up all of my artwork. I find this a little easier than Silhouette Studio when it comes to doing more than one color. So if you're doing two color, it's very easy to break apart your design. So if I were to do this in Silhouette Studio, I would have to go in and ungroup all of this and put them in different sections. But here you can see that I have all of the colors set up so I can move them before I export that and bring it into Silhouette Studio. So what I'm going to do is take each color and group them in one group. So I'm going to bring Free Spirit and all the other words in gold and my artwork over here, the feathers, and I'm going to group those together. And then I'm also going to do that with the pink. So I'll have two separate sections, making it super easy whenever I import this into Silhouette Studio. Okay, so everything's broken apart. I know where everything needs to go, so I can go ahead and export this by going to File and Export. You can export this as a JPEG because whenever we bring this in Silhouette Studio, it's going to be just like bringing up an image off of Google. So I'm just going to title this so that I know where to find it. And it's going to save right here it's going to show up right here that I saved that. So I'm just going to drag that to my desktop so I know where to find it whenever I bring it up in Silhouette Studio. Okay, so now I have Silhouette Studio open. I'm going to go to File, Open, and I'm going to find that image I just had. So you can see it right here. I'm going to double click that, and it's going to import that image that I just exported, and it came up a little big, so we can go ahead and size this down. Okay. So for the first section, I just want to trace everything that's gold. So I'm going to go to my trace button up here, go to Select Trace, and bring the box over the piece that I want to trace. Okay, so now I want to fill in each section of this design so you can see where there's gray parts and where there's yellow parts. We want this entire piece of this artwork to be yellow. So we'll go ahead and increase our value. And you can see that it is filled in everything. I'm also going to go ahead and increase my threshold to 50 just so that I see clear cut lines and everything going around the letters. Okay, so that looks good. I'm happy with that. So I'm going to click Trace. Now that all that stuff's filled in and I can see that it's going to be creating a clear cut line, I'm going to click Trace, and it's going to trace that for me, and these essentially are my cut lines. So I can go ahead and move this image out, and now it has every piece that I need in gold. So I can go ahead and delete this image. And then I'm going to reopen this image and do the same thing with the design that everything's going to be done in the pink heat transfer vinyl. So I can go ahead to open, bring up my silhouette design again. And this is automatically going to create a new page for me. So you can see down here, if you click this one, you'll see the one that we just cut, and then you'll see the one we just re-imported. So I'm going to drag this over and do the same thing we just did to the other side. So we'll go to Select Trace, select the area we want traced, and again fill in each section. So we'll increase the value, the threshold, and the scale. And once I move that threshold up, it completely filled everything in. All right, so we can go ahead and trace this piece. Okay, you can see it traced everything. It's all in red. So we can go ahead and move our image out of the way here. Just delete that. And now we have our image that we need. Now we can go ahead and size up our designs here and get them sent over to the cutter. So I'm going to size this down a little bit and mirror my object here. So I go up to object in the left hand corner, scroll down to mirror, and flip horizontally. And then I want to do the same thing to the next section also. I want to make sure all of this stuff is grouped up again, so I'll group everything, size it down slightly, and mirror again. Okay, so we're set up for both of our colors. So what we're going to do is go to the first one we're going to cut. This is the gold pieces. So I'm going to be cutting fashion film with this. And we're going to make sure that we're on the standard cut mode and that we're also on the heat transfer material smooth. So you can see there's two options for heat transfer material. When you're cutting a thin, lightweight material, we want to make sure that we're choosing the smooth option here. So we're going to be cutting fashion film, so I need my blade at a 2. I need my speed to be at a 3. And my thickness to be at 2 also. Okay, so now that everything's set up, I can go ahead and send to the silhouette.
Are you looking for more ways to use or make money with your craft cutter? Then check out StahlsTV.com, where you'll find more how-to videos and tutorials just like the one you've watched.